damage control this morning. The GOP presidential candidate stepping on toes his first few days in London, questioning the city's passion for the Olympics and calling security for the games disconcerting. UK newspaper headlines this morning ranging from Mitt the Twit in The Sun to who invited party pooper Mitt Romney in the Daily Mail. And in The Guardian, Romney's diplomatic gaffe, Mitt falls at the first hurdle. The headlines in the United States, more of the same tone rather than the slam dunk trip Romney was hoping for. Joining me now, former Republican Senator Norm Coleman of Minnesota. He serves as a foreign policy advisor to Mitt Romney's campaign. Good morning.
Good morning, Christine.
You know, in 2008, when candidate Obama went to Berlin, when he was on his big international trip, he was sort of treated like a rock star. An estimated 200,000 people showing up to hear him speak. Then fast forward to today in London for candidate Romney. He's getting a very different reception. Headlines like Mitt the Twit, not a really good reception at all. Team Romney must be disappointed by the performance his first day out.
Well, listen, the measure of Mitt's visit to the Olympics is not going to be about the headlines in British tabloids or the size of adoring crowds. I'm sure President Obama loved those adoring crowds. I think actually, by the way, on Piers last night, he did say things were fabulous, but I think Piers asked a question that really goes kind of the heart of why this visit's valuable, certainly for Romney and for the American people. And that's when he asked him about his experience at the Olympics and what relevance that has to kind of running a country. And the governor's response was pretty clear. It was about the ability he had to bring a team together to turn things around. And look at the contrast between Romney and Obama. What has Obama turned around? What team has he brought together? Has it been the economy? Has it been stopping Iran from moving forward, getting a nuclear weapon? Has it been resetting Russia? So you've got a guy, and so for the American people, not for British tabloids or crowds in Europe, but for the American people, will they reflect upon what Mitt Romney did in the Olympics, and what they need right now is somebody who can turn this economy around and get this country moving in the right direction.
That is the message that the Romney campaign would like to continue to push, because that is a weakness for the president, the economy. But at the same time, your candidate also has to be a statesman on a global stage, and it seems like the British Prime Minister David Cameron and the London Mayor Boris Johnson, they were pretty critical of your candidate yesterday. I want to listen to that for a second.
The London Mayor is kind of a character, and I think everyone will say that. But again, the bottom line, it's not about British tabloids, and it's not about European crowds. It's about American people, and the American people looking for leadership, and Mitt Romney being at the Olympics is a reminder of the kind of leadership that they need.
Let's listen, because you talk about tabloids, but you're also talking about the Prime Minister of America's most important ally, so please listen.
We are holding an Olympic Games in one of the busiest, most active, bustling cities anywhere in the world. I mean, of course, it's easier if you hold an Olympic Games in the middle of nowhere.
I appreciated the insights and perspectives of the leaders of the government here and opposition here, as well as the head of MI6.
There's a guy called Mitt Romney who wants to know whether we're ready. He wants to know whether we're ready. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes, we are.
So, Senator, you hear the three pieces of sound that everyone's really talking about this morning, and you heard the candidate himself talking about meeting with the head of MI6. He criticized this White House for leaks, intelligence leaks, but at the same time, there are those this morning saying, wait, you don't talk about meeting with MI6.
Christine, please, do not even attempt to put on the same level leaks about specific information about American tactics and what we did and how we did it with the conversation about meeting somebody with an organization that everybody knows exists. That's simply not on the same parallel, not on the same length, not on the same wavelength whatsoever.
So
listen, the bottom line is the Brits got fired up, and God bless if they should. I got some British heritage. The governor has some British heritage. I don't think he knew it. I don't think he knew that he was more British than Piers until Piers told him that last night.
That was a great
they're fired up, but in the end, Britain is a strong ally. This governor is about strengthening America's relationship with our allies, not undercutting them, which he feels and clearly has been the problem with this president. Be it Israel, be it Poland, where Mitt will be. The governor will be in Poland. Poland had the rug pulled out from them on the missile defense, and so I think this trip is a good thing. He's not going to talk about foreign policy when he's across the pond, but I think Americans will reflect upon leadership, they'll reflect upon relationships with allies, they'll reflect upon whether America has gotten stronger in the world or not. And clearly, Iran moves forward, the Russian reset is a failure, and this economy is still in big trouble.
How does he flip the script here? Because the first day, obviously, the British press, the British Prime Minister, how does he flip the script here as he goes forward and show that statesmanship on the world stage?
Yeah, I don't think there's any script that has to be, in this case, flipped. I think the Olympics will speak for themselves. The focus now will be on the athletes and the feeling, the great feeling that they'll be in Britain, which they should have. Tremendous feeling. Mitt Romney understanding that being part. I think the glow and the warmth from the athletes and the opening ceremonies and everything will kind of put whatever happened yesterday in terms of headlines in British tabloids, put that aside, and then beyond that, as the governor moves to Israel, clearly, which there's no Obama's ratings in Israel, his approval ratings, I think, are in single digits.
Yeah.
I think simply the presence there will be a strong reminder that America has to be a stronger, better friend to Israel than they've seen under this
administration. President Obama has not been to Israel as a president, but he had been as a candidate. I want to talk. You talked about the Piers Morgan interview, which was so great last night. I want to talk about what Governor Romney has talked about in terms of success. Piers asked him about this battle against success, or the perceived battle against success in America. Let's listen.
There are people who are trying to attack success and are trying to attack our success. That's not going to be successful. When you attack success, you have less of it, and that's what we've seen in our economy over the last few years. Dividing America based on who has money and who hasn't, who is successful and who is less successful, that is not the American way.
Does he recognize the wealth divide, the growing wealth gap in America? Is he dismissing that, or the fact that the middle class has been struggling?
Not at all. Even asking the question,
yeah.
Somehow does that undermine the importance? What you didn't show was the governor reflecting on a comment that Marco Rubio made. Saying when he was growing up, a poor kid in Miami, and they'd look at these big mansions, his parents wouldn't say, those are bad folks up there, take that away. They'd say, something, maybe we can achieve that someday. That's what America offers, that opportunity, and we should offer it for each and every kid, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their national origin. We should offer that to every kid. And that's what Romney is about. Success is a good thing. I believe this president has kind of torn that down. I believe the class warfare battle is a losing battle with the American public. So no, it's not. You don't somehow dismiss somebody because you've made it. If anything, you're giving them, I think, the opportunity to say, this is what has made America great. We have the opportunity for every kid to be that great. Let's not lose that. Let's not tear this country apart. It shouldn't be 99% against 1%. It should be 100% American.
All right. Norm Coleman, former senator from Minnesota. Really nice to see you today. Thanks.
Great pleasure. Thank you.
Talk to you again soon, I hope. Thanks. Coming up in about 30 minutes, our own Piers Morgan is going to join us from London.